Hello, hello, hello. This is Tara, and I am back with our favorite sister cousin, Lisa. Dun, 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 dun. She comes with her own theme music. So today, y'all, we coming back. We coming back in a different capacity today. Um, I don't even know like really how to start this off, but I'm gonna start this off by first of all saying that I do not own the rights to this particular the lyrics of this song that I'm about to discuss. This is for educational purposes, and it is protected under the Fair Use Act, for the Copyright Act of 1976. So certain allowances are made, for this purpose. So this is an education and a teaching moment. So I'm gonna start it off like this. So as you can tell, the title is asking a question. When did we abandon logic for fairy tales? Um, and so this subject matter is going to be a little unorthodox for us, today, in a public way. So we're just coming to you as Tara and Lisa,
Mhm.
not not as the auntie, sister, cousins, and all of that good stuff today. So because I don't really have many scriptures for you today, because this is just
Mhm.
ridiculous. So I'm gonna get into it like I'm gonna get into it like this, okay? A lot of us, and I'm talking about people,
Right.
on today, who
Right.
are, like my age, or a little bit older than me, or a little bit younger than I am. A lot of us that were born in the US, I am noticing a pattern with us abandoning, a lot of our logic, a lot of our foundational principles, the things that we learned in school, the foundational things that have helped us to stay alive and to thrive and to be productive human beings and adults. And it's weird to me, so I got to speak on it. And so today,
Mhm.
y'all, just please get comfortable and just just hear me out. I know this may seem a little weird, but just hear me out. It's weird to me too. Trust me, we all gonna learn together. So with that being said, let me get into something real quick.
Mhm.
So when I was a kid, one of my favorite songs was this song called Farytales. Okay, and it was sung by this beautiful songstress, and she did a really good job on the delivery. But what really struck me was the lyrics themselves. So I'm going to go over some of these lyrics for just a second, and you may find this to be familiar to you too. So this is how the lyrics read. It says, "I can remember stories, those things my mother said. She told me fairy tales before I went to bed. She spoke of happy endings, then took me in real tight. She turned my nightlight on and kissed my face good night." Okay. So basically the mother is explaining, to the daughter, about like this particular fairy tale, the knight in shining armor. All right, so she says, she told me everything. She said he'd be so nice. He'd ride up on his horse and take me away one night. I'd be so happy with him. We would ride clean out of sight. But she never said that we would curse, cry, and scream and lie. She never said that maybe someday he'd say goodbye. So the story ends as stories do. Reality steps into view. Okay. The second part of that, basically, it just goes on a little bit more. I'm just gonna go a little bit further, y'all. She said, she spoke about happy endings of stories not like this. So she's comparing this, to her reality, and this is not adding up. She said he would slay all the dragons, defeat the evil prince. She said he'd come to save me and swim through the stormy seas. I'd understand the story, it would be good for me. But you never came to save me. You let me stand alone, out in the wilderness, alone in the cold. So my story ends as stories do. Reality steps into view.
To
Now,
view.
yes, so I'm bringing that up. I'm bringing that up because most of us, you know, um, who can understand what I'm saying. Most of us who are mature enough, and of healthy mindset to understand what I'm saying here, we understand that fairy tales are just that. They're just stories. We are not to take them literally. We are not to think that, that is a truth in our life. It's just one of those things, that is an entertainment, aspect to it. When you start to try to take fairy tales and make them reality, it doesn't add up. And whoever wrote this particular song, that is the message that they're trying to convey here, that real life does not compare to the fairy tales that a lot of us grew up watching, listening to, and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult, you're supposed to know this or learn this concept, in some way, shape, or form. But I'm seeing that a lot of people are not. And what I mean specifically, I'm going to get into specifics here because, our belief system is just, I don't even have words for it. So I'm just going to explain it. Sometimes when I don't know how to put this in a nice, neat package. So I'm just going to explain what I'm saying, and then, it hits you how it hits you. So a lot of people today, they are relying heavily, and I mean heavily, on
Mm-hmm.
psychics, mediums, spiritualists, readers, seers, tarot card readers,
Mm-hmm.
all of this weird, unorthodox stuff that is deemed to be entertainment. Okay. And what I mean specifically is this. So let's talk about tarot card readers for a minute, because they are popping up in social media in like massive proportions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tarot card readers. And I'm not knocking your hustle, your craft, whatever the case may be. I'm just saying, let's give everybody something to really think about. Let's not give them just one view. I'm one of those type people to where if I'm going to make a choice, let me get all my selections together, let me get all my information together, and then I can make an informed decision based off of factual evidence, factual, you know, things.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm learning by, other people are coming and they're actually believing cards, man-made cards.
Mm.
Okay. And it's weird. I mean, like, man-made cards. Okay. So, and it was so funny because somebody had some Uno cards recently, and it would be the equivalent of somebody calling me and saying, "Hey, what should I do about, my decision, this huge life decision?" And I say, "Oh, let me go look at my Uno cards."
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just that weird. Okay, so this is what I'm talking. This is what I mean.
Mhm.
Tarot cards, they all have a universal truth to them. Okay, from universal traits. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's just take some examples here. Everybody was born. Okay, everybody's gonna die.
Now that's facts. That's facts. We
Everybody
can
has
back that up.
right.
You can go
Hello.
to the Bible and see that there
Yes,
is a point of the time for man to die.
to die.
Ta-da.
Everybody has good times. Everybody has bad times. Everybody can relate to, having situations to where you get upset, or where,
Mhm.
what I'm saying, you don't want to take any more trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, so those are universal things. Like, those are general, things that happens and that reigns true in every single person. So
Mhm.
if I were to flip any tarot cards, yeah, anybody that I'm talking to, they're like, oh yeah, yeah, that's me. Uh-huh. I'm that way. My personality, I'm a happy person, or I'm a sad person, or whatever the case may be, because we all have experienced emotions. We've all experienced a variety. All of us who are adults, we can recall times where we have been frustrated, sad, mad, stepped on, betrayed, loved, scorned, all of this stuff. There's nothing unusual. There's nothing specific about just universal truth. And that's what it
Mhm.
is. That's what these cards are. They're just universal traits plastered on universal cards, for universal general things, so they're gonna reign true. You're gonna hit like, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it's probably like, I'm gonna say they have maybe a 80% accuracy rating when you flip cards. From all of the studies, from I forget what they call it. I want to say they may call it psychoanalysis analysis.
Analysis.
Most psychoanalysis that have been done, on people who have participated in these type research groups, they I think they have maybe an 80% accuracy rate, and these are unexperienced, controls and things of that nature, to try to form, a numerical rating factor. So what I'm saying here is this. There's nothing supernatural about reading cards. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's not a
I
God-given gift.
no. I mean, that's not even like, there's
Oh,
nothing
wow.
there's nothing even logical about that. And they've even debunked so-called psychic people who does the same thing. Even
Yeah.
if I put the cards down and I go to my cousin or even a stranger for that matter, hey, do you remember that time you was crying? Yeah, plenty of times in life. I mean, what I'm saying? That's gonna reign true.
Yeah.
It looks like you were crying at one point. Yeah, I was crying. Were you broke one time? Yeah, yeah, I was broke. You're
Mm,
right. I didn't have a car one time. What? Yeah, I didn't. I
right,
didn't. You're right.
right, right.
All of these things are general things.
Mhm.
If you look at it, they can never tell you specifics. And what I mean by specifics is like God specific. So
Mhm.
whenever God foretold a message, famine, drought, in the lands, it happened with 100% accuracy at the time he said it, how it was going to happen, who it was going to happen to. 100%. Never failed.
Absolutely. That's the same as when he sent his prophets, his
Mm-hmm.
head of households.
Yes.
We know then that that was the miraculous, because it was immediately when they said exactly what you said. When they predicted it, prophesied, it happened.
Yes.
That's how they knew that it was from God, of God,
Mm-hmm.
in
Our
that
secular
aspect.
history,
Right,
it records that. So
right.
even if you don't believe, that the Bible is inspired and things of that nature, your own human history records this in our records. So there are eyewitness accounts. There are,
Mhm,
many different,
mhm,
things that can verify
mhm.
evidence. There's evidence. Like I
Mhm.
always say, Jerusalem is a real place. You
Yes.
know, the,
Mhm.
you you
That's
know
true.
you the Sea of Galilee, that is a real sea.
Right.
There's a lot of evidences that can be proven, a lot of facts. But
Mhm,
when it comes down to the psychic realm, the spiritualist movement that's popping up all over our land,
mhm.
and believe me, you're free to believe what you want. That's not the point here. The point is, um, I just hate to see people destroy their lives over emotional issues, um, hidden as some sort of supernatural uh, knowledge. That's
Mm.
the best way I can put it without
Yep.
offending.
Right.
That's just the best way I can put it, because guess what? Supernatural ability that comes from God.
Mhm,
We wouldn't even know what supernatural is had it not been for God and His Word. There's no
mhm.
other book, there's no other truth or knowledge that explains the miraculous supernatural abilities of our history except from the oracles of God. Okay, so
And
let's
they
keep going.
do not exist today. People, come on.
Oh,
Um,
that's a
you
whole
have your
nother.
people who's gonna miraculously heal someone. Okay, we have plenty of sick people in your family that you know. If that's the case, then why do we have dead people? if they can heal, if they can bring them back to life,
Exactly.
they did all that. That was proven. Go back to your scriptures and read this and research these people. Jesus, he brought Lazarus back. He had been dead in the tomb for 4 days.
3. Yep. And see, here's the
3 days. He
thing.
called him and he arose.
Yes, he
You know.
did. And here's the thing about that. Most so-called healers
Mm,
can't even heal themselves.
sure can't.
So and I'm not making light of the situation. I'm just saying, let's look at things factually
Mhm.
versus
Mhm.
emotionally,
Mhm.
because I think that a lot of people in this day and age are looking at things based off of emotions.
Mhm.
Why do we abandon logic? Logic
Check.
is going to
Mhm.
be fact based off of facts,
Mhm.
evidence. There's evidences that we can confirm,
Right.
confirmations.
Right.
When we research tarot cards, let's do that. If you look up tarot cards, they originated in the 1400s, okay? In Italy. They're not even native to this country,
Wow.
to this country,
For
okay?
entertainment purposes,
For
huh?
entertainment. For entertainment. So if you
Wow.
go to Italy and you show them your little tarot cards, yeah, we play that game.
Yeah. Yeah. The court gesture was entertaining the king. Look what I can do. Okay, I'm sorry.
The
I'm sorry.
royal fool. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm bad. I'm
Okay.
bad. So what I'm trying to say is this: you're basing supernatural ability off of a man-made game. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So let's keep going. If that's not enough for you, let's keep going. So humans are not capable of creating supernatural items. When is the last time? Okay, so let's think about this for a second. There's so-called a chalice, some sort of chalice that has been sought after since Jesus left here. Okay, has not surfaced yet. Nobody's ever seen it. Nothing. No traces of anything. There's nothing supernatural going on. You know, um, Nowadays, and you have to ask yourself why. We understand why because God tells us why, but for those of you who do not believe in the Bible, that should be a logical point for you reference wise, like, I wonder why supernatural things don't happen anymore.
Mhm.
According to our own secular history, because it was recorded, of the parting of the Red Sea. Okay, let's just use as an example. Wonder why the sea is not being parted today.
Mm.
Wonder why, I'm saying, nobody's able to get a staff in hand, lift it up, and then the seas are parted.
Mm.
Or nobody's
Mm.
walking on the water these
Mm.
days.
Mhm.
When's the last time, that you saw somebody get into a chariot and ride straight to heaven? Hmm. So, you got to ponder these things. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna, if that's gonna be your stance, that you
Mhm.
would rather
Mhm.
allow fairy tales to be your logic, then you
Mhm.
have to question, you know, your belief system. I guess we can call that a belief system in a sense. So you need to understand some truths about it, and I just want to help shatter this, or help you to maybe dig a little bit deeper. So here's what I'm trying to say here. When you look at these tarot cards, right? And we already have established that they are based on universal traits, universal, truths, that reign true, to about 80% of
Mhm.
people. Okay.
Mhm.
So if you were to ask a tarot reader, you know, hey, what's going to happen to me tomorrow? What's the weather going to be like tomorrow? They can't tell you that. Your cards can't tell you that. Or, if you want to know something specific, hey, what happened to little Pookie? You know, I lost this bear when I was little. Where did he go? What happened to him? That can't tell you that. Or can you tell me without me telling you, um, one of my dearly departed loved ones, what is their full name, first, middle, and last name, without Googling it? You understand?
Because from what I heard, when you call in to these quote unquote psychics, uh, they get your general information.
Yes, they
So
do.
so look, if you're calling in to the psychic hotline, they should be able to tell you who you are, give you all your, like you say, disclosed information,
Yeah.
why you're calling, what you know. So why
Why are you going to ask questions?
right? Why are you giving these people all your information? Do it
Right.
again. Ding. Yeah. For the people in the back
It
who
is
didn't
so
hear that.
true. Okay, seriously, why do they have to question you? Matter of fact,
Yes.
hold on. Let's take it all the way back. Time out.
Okay.
They should know when you gonna call.
Uh-huh.
They should
Mm.
know why you're calling, what you want to know.
Mhm.
You shouldn't have to do nothing but just breathe and
Mhm.
listen. That should
Mhm.
that's what it should be. But what do we see? We always see them. Hey, tell me your birthday. Tell me
Mhm.
your name. Tell me
Mhm.
your zodiac,
Mhm. Mhm.
etc. And that is another zodiacs. I ain't even got started on that yet. But that's
Oh.
another fairy tale. So believe me,
Mhm.
we'll have a fairy tale too. Three,
Mm.
four, five. Okay.
Mhm.
So in any event, if you were to ask them, about specifics, they can't tell you specifics, and they're gonna he and haw. I'm telling you, try it. They're gonna he and haw about why they can't tell you specifics. Okay, so one um famous tarot card reader says that it's all about the energy
Mm.
that is that flows through the cards, through the
Mm.
individual to the person that's seeking the information.
Mm.
All right, so let's talk about energy for just a second, if you will.
Mm.
Energy is not seen, and it does not hold up as a legitimate measuring force in decision making. I'm sorry, it does not. Can you go to the electric company and say, I can't pay my bill this month because I'm low on energy? Or, or, or the energy is just not right now. It's just
Yeah.
bad karmic energy has flowed in my
Mhm.
house and I got to get it out.
Mhm.
You'll be doing that in the dark, I promise you.
Mm.
So, um, why is it that energy is not held up in any of the things that help us to be an organized nation, a solid foundational you like entity? This
Mhm.
nation is
Mhm.
founded on certain principles, our legislation system, judicial system, government, all of that, and they don't use energy as a law or as a measuring device or any of the things. Matter of fact, you're not gonna hear them saying, go look up any law. It doesn't even matter what law it is. Go look it up and see if it's mentioned about energy at all for the decision making. Did
Mhm.
anybody vote using their energy?
Or
Did,
tarot cards.
or their tarot cards for that matter,
Mhm.
or the psychics,
Right.
a seer, or any of that. So
Mhm.
why does that not hold up in the justice system?
Okay.
Can you go? So if somebody broke into your car and they stole something very valuable and they found out who it was, and that individual is brought to justice,
Mhm.
the judge is not going to ask that individual, hey, let me go get the psychic to test you out and see if you're telling the truth. What
Mhm.
do? They actually have a jury of human beings who are making intellectual decisions based off of evidence and facts. What are the evidence that are being presented? It's not energy, it's not tarot cards, it's not psychics. Nobody has ever called in a psychic in a court of law to give their verdict, in a trial. Sorry, that does not hold up. Okay, not now. Now, if you want to go back to Salem, okay, fine. I give you that. I give you the Salem witch trials. But as we know in history, that turned out to be the biggest mistake when they did try to say it was witchcraft and etc. They found out that they killed all of those people for nothing because witchcraft cannot be proven. Okay, thank you. So I digress. To the people who try to persecute the Christians, I'm talking to you primarily. Every single belief system, every single belief system has commonality with Christians. Why? Let's talk about it. Because you have a doctrine, whether you know what doctrine is or not, you have one. That is your belief system. That means that you and people like you have something in common as to what they believe. That's what makes it work. That's what makes it a system. That's what makes it an entity, so to speak, or a doctrine, so to speak, because you guys, the group of you, believe the same thing. Okay.
Hmm.
So,
Unison. Unison.
exactly, there's a
Mm-hmm.
unison, there's a commonality there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a unity there. So, here's the thing, what makes you different from the Christian that you persecute? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard so many people say that people who call themselves Christians are stupid, because of a book that was given to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that statement is stupid. And I'll tell you why. Why would a captor give his captive the keys to get away, to be free? Why would
Mm-hmm.
he want to educate him that what he's doing is completely condemned? Because that's what the Bible does. It condemns anybody that tries to enslave anybody else. It says we all are free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's why the Bible even says you have a certain freedom from God Himself. God
Mm-hmm.
gives you free will.
Mm-hmm.
You can believe Him or not and not be smited.
And then the person that they say has given us the Bible, they they got to go by those same set of rules themselves.
Exactly. That makes no sense. If you arm a man with the right type of ammunition,
Mm-hmm.
all it's going to do is motivate him to fight or flight.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
If you withhold information, that's how you keep them weak. But you don't give them the very thing that's going to strengthen them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the Bible does.
Mm-hmm.
It's a truth to let you know what's right and wrong. So, when they were brought here, uneducated, not knowing, what I'm saying, what was going on, um, it was taught to them that this was their punishment, and this was the right of this country. Okay. It wasn't until, they started to understand that this was wrong, that they started to actually strengthen themselves and fight back and do something about it. So by you giving them the strength, the motivation to arm them early, that's stupid. So I think a lot of people are ignorant who say that, it was the man who gave the slaves the Bible. Why would he do that?
But he's
Because,
giving you the opportunity to have the same opportunity that he may have, which is the
right,
opportunity to know
equal,
God, to accept his word and what his truth and what he is saying. And the biggest of the whole big picture, you can have a chance at eternal life in
yes,
heaven. Now,
yes,
if he's such an evil person and he means you no good, why would he want to give you such a grand prize, so
right,
to speak? At
right.
the end of this journey, this life's journey, he's going to put you in heaven, put you at a chance to get to heaven. Why would he do that if he's such an evil person?
That makes no sense. And here's the thing: the Bible also teaches that you guys are equal. So that right there would have let you know right from wrong from the get go. I just don't understand that people don't even question it. They just parrot. They just get in their emotions and they parrot what they hear somebody else spew, and it's sad. So I digress. Let me go to my next point here. My next point is about the comparison against the Christian, right? So, like I
Mhm,
was saying, They want to condemn the Christians, for this the rules that we adhere to in the oracles of God.
Mhm.
Okay, but you yourself have a doctrine too, whether it be a creed, whether it be an oath, whether it be some sort of standard. You got one. You got one. Okay, and if you don't know what it is, that still doesn't excuse you and your organization. You got one, because everyone
Mhm.
has to have one. Unless you're just lawless, and if you lawless, then you in the wild wild west somewhere or out in the woods, and we're not even
You
talking to
still
you.
have one. You lawless. That's it.
Right? Look, honor
That
among thieves. So so
who knew?
right. So, so really, you're not that much different, is what I'm trying to help you to understand. The doctrine is basically, is what you make it. Honestly, at least with the Christian, we can say that this is not a man-made doctrine. It's coming from the mind, the very mind of the Creator. So in that respect, it is supernatural. Okay, because man does not think this way. There's no other book in comparison it can even come close. They have
Mhm.
tried. Trust me, they had to find other scribes' writings to even come close to the Bible, and we call that the apocrypha. Okay, that is the closest that you will ever get, and that's not even supernatural. That's man-made in itself. But because those scribes who wrote it were alive during the time that the original manuscripts were being written, there's a lot of similarities there. So nothing else can compare to that. All right, so if you try to compare God to anything, it would be an oxymoron for one. Okay, because God is the creator, so there's nothing that compares to the creator, especially from the creation. Okay, so that's something to think about. All right, but think about this now. Whether you believe in gods with a little g, with an S, Buddha, Orishas, ancestors, self ascensions, higher powers, hierarchies, whatever your system is, it is your right. But this is what I'm trying to say: believe what you want to believe, but you might want to just tread lightly when it comes down to attacking Christians just because you don't believe, Christianity. That's fine. You cannot believe Christianity, and we can all dwell together, and that's, we can kumbaya and all of that good stuff. But it's really, you hurt yourself when you try to attack a Christian when a lot of your beliefs come from Bible. I can't tell you how many people I have met that they quote they quote from the very Bible that they hate. It's mighty funny that you will use it to fight with or to prove a point with as to what's right and what's wrong, but you won't believe it. So your mouth says, because if you didn't believe it at all, it would never come out of your mouth. Okay? There's a lot of
You
things that,
you wouldn't be
as
taking bits and pieces from it. Each religion that we know of or have been exposed to or whatever, they take bits and pieces from the very holy Bible, as you say, that they
that's right.
reject. Um,
That's right. That is
yeah,
right. the the Bible, um here's the thing: we have found traces of the Bible in every belief system, whether you understand that or not.
right.
The Quran even speaks about Jesus. Jesus is on every continent and every space speck of this world. You
Yes.
can't go anywhere saying Jesus and people don't
Don't
know him.
know.
Now, I can go to another continent, and let's just say, for example, I say, hey, do you know of any gods by the name of Osiris or Asar or Sophia or Tut and Hut and whoever else? Put, I don't know. Um, so, and you would literally have crickets. I mean, like, seriously, they would not, they would laugh. They would laugh me out of there. Like, huh?
What?
Come again?
What is she
Mm,
talking about? I know. I
right.
know. I don't
She
know.
escort her to the credit
Oblivion.
room.
Yeah.
Mhm. We got a
What?
place for you, ma'am. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Help is on the way.
Yeah.
So, basically, um, our beliefs. I can say this is, it's a unadulterated, belief, meaning it's recorded in our history, and so that's a one up anyway, because I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of these tarot, okay, tarot, we have found your origins Italy. Okay, so if we're not Italian, we're not from Italy, we probably would have never even came into your little game, right? Okay, let's go to Africa real quick. Your Orishas, your deities, Egyptianology, I don't even know if that's a word, whatever. Egypt, Egyptology, all of that is specific to that continent.
Mhm.
It is not widely known, widely accepted. It's not.
Mhm.
It's only for that continent. So that's a fallacy in itself, meaning it's limited. Ooh, it's limited. Ooh. And God is everywhere.
Mhm.
So there's two up. You ain't looking too good. You ain't looking
Mhm.
too good at this point. So God two, man zero at this point. So many people today, they want to adopt and trust in their feelings and their emotions as a religious compass. They see, hear, and believe in things that are not based on evidence or facts. And I'm gonna tell you what this definition that I'm reading. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it means actually. They have emotions, thoughts, and energy that is not considered proper etiquette or rationale. They
Hmm.
parrot and repeat other cultural thoughts and answers for truth without research or evidence. And if you want to know what I'm referring to right now, it is a mental disorder called schizophrenia. Okay.
Mm.
Now, I don't joke about mental disorders or anything like that. So
Right.
I'm saying this to say, I'm bringing this up to say this. A lot of people today, and it is not taboo, to have to go and seek counseling, therapy, or anything like that, because there are a lot of mental disorders that mimic
Look.
others. And so people take them as, like, for instance, hearing voices, and things of that nature. A lot of the time, when people are hearing voices, and I'm not saying 100%, I'm not a doctor, but a lot of the
Right.
time, history has shown us when they take medicines, they no longer hear voices.
Mhm.
A lot of the time, we have seen what happens as a result when people who hear voices do not get the proper medicines. They kill people, they hurt themselves, they hurt others. It's just not a good result. So, by all means, I think it's time for us to stop looking at these fairy tales, tarot cards, psychics, readers, seers, all of this stuff that has no evidence, no facts, does not hold up, is not even a factor in life. Here's what me and my cousin were talking about. I'm just gonna let you. I'm gonna be real transparent with you. If these other things, so let's just say these tarot cards, these orishas, these gods, goddesses, things of that nature, why don't they help people
Mm.
stay out of trouble, stay out of harm's way? Why do people still need medicines if your orishas and things of that nature can heal and do miraculous supernatural things? Okay. Why is it that you still can't use it for your benefit? You
Mhm.
you still gotta work.
Mm.
You still got to make a living. You still got to drive yourself to work and things of that nature. These deities and things of that nature who have all these supernatural. Why can't they just snap you where you got to be, snap you where you got to go, snap some education into you? Let me tell you something about my God. My God has taken the uneducated and given them miraculous knowledge. This is confirmed in secular history. This is confirmed in our spiritual, religious history.
Mhm.
Why is it that your deities and anybody else, they can't do that?
Mhm.
Okay. My God has given other languages to
Mhm.
the uneducated.
Mhm.
My God has given real healing abilities, not just the healing abilities that cannot be confirmed. We're talking about the dead and bringing them back to life again. Not
Mhm.
just, oh, they heart's good to beat. Like she said, 3 days in the grave
Mhm.
and you came out. Okay. My God does those things. Now, if you put yours to the test,
The lame to walk, the blind to see. Mm,
so not only that, not only that, I'm gonna wrap it up, but I just want to say, it's one of these things to where, and I know this may be heartbreaking for me to say it, so I'm gonna say this in the most tactful way that I can. Every country outside of the U.S. is a third world country. If you have ever visited a third world country, then you understand this truth. This is a factual evidence that I am about to say. You know, and I'm gonna go to Africa. Let's just go to Africa real quick.
okay.
You know for a fact a lot of Africans live in poverty. They would kill to live in the ghettos of the United States. Honestly, that would be a step up from their living conditions. Okay. A lot of them die from malnutrition, the things that
Mhm.
we have in abundance here. A lot of them die from poisons in their water because they don't have access to clean running water. A lot of them die from exposure because they don't have access to proper dwelling places. A lot of them die for various reasons from lack of the things that we have in abundance in this country. Now let's compare. This country is based off of God's principles. Third world countries are not. Do you see the difference that I'm explaining? If you don't, okay, it's fine. Let's break it down further. If those other countries have orishas, deities, gods, things of that nature, supernatural abilities, then why are they suffering to this day? Why are they still suffering like they are? Why don't they have equal footing? And I'm not trying to say that America's all that, because we might be in worse shape than them soon. But what I am saying is, if the Orishas and things of that nature, which they originate from these other countries, why are there such a big difference in just normal human things that we enjoy? So the next time that we talk about these fairy tales, if somebody is willing to speak with us and actually, talk with us, we will welcome that because I have so many questions about these new age. I'm gonna say new age because honestly, back in the day, this was not even a afterthought. This was not even like a possibility. Before internet, this was not a possibility, honestly. So I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. I'm just bewildered. I'm really astonished in a bad way about how we allow. I'm just gonna say how we abandon logic,
Right.
evidence,
How we abandon the faith, how we abandon God.
the
He's
thing that
told us in the book of Exodus, put Exodus 20 to be exact, put no other God before him. And that's exactly precisely what man has been doing since he created them. And today they are still doing it more rapidly than ever.
exactly, exactly. So it's sad. It's just really sad. It's heartbreaking actually.
It
So
is.
I say I have to say this particular. I mean, we're real. We are realists,
Right.
and this is one of those times to where it's not all fuzzy, warm, and
Hmm.
we don't really walk in emotions anyway. So I mean, that's not
Nah.
even a thing, but it's just one of those things to where it's one of those heart to heart conversations. It may
Yeah.
be tough to digest, but I'm really perplexed. Like, why are we abandoning what we know for stuff that is not even proven? Is
Mhm.
is nobody doing the research? Why are we parroting these days? Everything is parroted. Somebody told this person this, somebody told that person that, and now it has become reality. That is
Mhm.
the equivalent of people really truly believing that they're in a matrix. I mean, that is entertainment. And you got people out here that truly, truly think that we are in some sort of computer matrix game. Entertainment has gone to our head, and it's a shame. I mean, even other countries are laughing at us, because we honestly, anything goes. And it's just, it's sad. I've said it before. In this country, everything is tolerated,
Mhm.
and that's why I said we, we got to be careful. So I'm going to end it this way. I love you. Whether you agree with me or not, it's neither here nor there. I love you. You're not my enemy. You
Mhm.
understand? And so if you want to talk to me, cousin, we're here. We love you. So until next time, have a good day. Bye.